In the near future, scientists warn humanity that the world is about to face its greatest crisis in history. Global temperatures are reaching new peaks, which have killed millions of fish, destroyed many species, and released bacteria from melting polar ice. Some nations are already facing food shortages, and people are starting to riot. In Thailand, the government assures the locals that they still have abundant resources thanks to being disconnected from the outside world for over 10 years. Former Thai boxing fighter Singh works as a delivery driver for Versus Corporation, a powerful agricultural company. During his latest trip, Singh keeps thinking about his girlfriend, Rin, and informs his co-worker Kriang that this is his last mission. When they make it to Bangkok, they find the road blocked by another truck. Singh notices thugs waiting to attack and decides to move, first by smashing a man's head on the truck's window. Then he proceeds to fight the whole gang, using his experience fighting in the ring to beat them all up. His cheek is slashed in the process, but that's the only time they manage to hurt him. Singh shows admirable skills as he fights the thugs, but one man still manages to reach the back of the truck. When he's in the middle of opening a crate, Kriang quickly brings him down and closes the truck again. Around the city, there are tons of abandoned buildings and people praying for a miracle. Long queues are formed to get water, and the police attack any person they don't like. Anyone who helps rioters is seen as an offender in the eyes of the government. When the duo finally arrives at the warehouse, they aren't paid fully because one of the crates is open. Kriang takes the crate home and pays Singh with his old bike as promised. Then he looks inside the crate and discovers it's full of fish, which they haven't eaten in years. Afterwards, Singh goes home with a bag and some of the fish. Rin is a doctor, so she takes care of his wound while scolding him for taking another dangerous mission. Singh apologizes and swears this was the last one, but she doesn't believe him because he's always saying that. On the street, the police announce that electricity is being shut down in this neighborhood. Rin leaves for work on a truck that protects special workers. Meanwhile, Purik, a senior official of Versus Corporation, is having lunch with important investors. They get to eat the finest fish and wine while people are killing each other for food on the streets. Purik swears the company will become the world's food hub, so he wants the investors' cooperation. After eating some of the fish, Purik begins to throw up blood and collapses as he has a seizure. At the hospital, Rin is supposed to start a surgery, but the director takes her to the restricted area for a very important case. This is the nice area of the hospital where all the rich patients are kept. Rin meets Vasu, the head of Versus Corporation, whose comatose wife is very sick. He's brought some fresh fish and wants to know if he can feed it to his wife to help her recover. Rin doesn't think it's a good idea until the fish is tested, but Vasu reminds her he's feeding the whole country and decides to do things his way. Meanwhile, Purik is still convulsing when he's brought in, and the doctors immediately sedate him. However, he keeps puking blood, and soon he begins to choke. The doctors rush to do CPR as Purik's veins darken, music, and blood splashes all over. But he ends up dying anyway. Seconds after most of the medical team is gone, Purik's eyes darken and he starts convulsing again. A nurse screams when he suddenly attacks her. After the meeting, Rin and the director return to the main hospital area and find the staff running around in panic. Two bleeding doctors collapse on the floor before a zombified Purik appears to bite them again. At home, Singh hears on the radio that there's an emergency at the hospital and people must stay away from that area. He immediately leaves on his bike and doesn't see the fish twitching in the bowl. Outside the hospital, Singh finds the relatives of the patients being blocked by the police, who say they don't know what's going on either. Suddenly, a doctor's and a guard's bodies fall from a window, splashing blood all over the ground. When an officer tries to check on the doctor, she becomes a zombie and attacks him. The man gets bitten before he shoots the zombie in the head. The fallen guard is also transformed, but two officers quickly shoot him down. Unfortunately, he's already bitten a nurse who also attacks. As chaos and panic take over the street, people are leaving the hospital in fear. The officers shoot in the air and announce that anybody who disobeys will suffer consequences, making the crowd's panic even worse. The cops soon open fire, killing civilians regardless of whether they're infected or not. Singh takes advantage of the chaos to sneak inside the hospital, where a guard is failing to keep people away. When a zombie appears, the guard has to fight it with just his baton. In the restricted area, the zombies have already taken over every quarter. Blood stains walls and floors while people are killed in every corner. In a room, Rin is hiding with the director, who is injured. When she stops hearing noises, she considers coming out, but she freezes when she senses something moving behind her. Noticing that the director is gone, Rin goes looking for him and finds him eating a dead nurse. As soon as he sees her, he tries to attack her, but he crashes into the shelves and gets stuck. Rin runs out of the room and is surprised to hear Singh's voice on the intercom calling for her. She tries to answer him, but at that moment the power goes out. On every floor of the hospital, the massacre continues and more zombies are created by the second. When one tries to attack Singh, he defends himself with his fighting techniques, the table, and even the phone cord. In just a few moves, he brings the zombies down and impales one on a table leg. Then Singh leaves the room and continues to fight zombies in the hallway, keeping them all at bay with his kicks and punches. He closes the door behind him to keep them from following him and rushes to the stairs only to hear someone screaming for help. Nearby, Buddy is trying to find a way out when he's suddenly startled by a zombie on a harness. He ends up stuck in the curtains, and the creature grabs him through them. So Buddy pulls until he frees himself. Unfortunately, the zombie breaks the harness and starts chasing Buddy, who hides behind the bed. The zombie crawls underneath, but when he's about to reach him, Sing pulls him back and starts fighting him. Buddy informs Sing that the brain is the zombie's weak spot, so Sing hits the incoming creatures in the head to defeat them more quickly and even uses a bottle as a weapon. Suddenly, a zombie jumps on Buddy to bite his leg, and Sing stomps on his head to kill him. Buddy panics because he thinks he'll transform, but he notices that the zombie had false teeth, so he's going to be fine. When Sing tries to leave, Buddy asks him to take him along. His mother works on the 3rd floor with Rin, so Sing allows the kid to be his guide. Meanwhile, a crying girl comes out of the hospital looking for her mother. The officers tell her to go back, but she's too confused to understand. The guard runs out and tries to explain she isn't infected, but he's immediately shot down and the girl is killed as well. At the military offices, the leaders discuss the situation and agree their only option to save the city is to blow up the hospital. Before the infection spreads, soon a group of soldiers is sneaking into the hospital to set up a bunch of explosives. In the restricted area, Rin is sneaking around but finds the door to the security office locked. The keys are on the twitching body of a guard, so she carefully reaches to grab them, but the guard awakens as a zombie and attacks her. Rin manages to grab the keys as she pushes him off. Then she quickly crosses the door and blocks it with a cabinet. Afterwards, she checks the security cameras and discovers there isn't a single safe spot in the hospital. When Sing and Buddy find the schedule board, they read that Rin and Buddy's mom are supposed to be on the 5th floor for surgery today. So they head there. There's a zombie in a wheelchair that tries to chase them, but he only falls off. Buddy laughs at him and the sound attracts a small horde. Sing beats a few zombies down before he and Buddy start running. After blocking the hallways with a stretcher, the duo hides in the closest room and blocks the door with a desk. In that room, there's a young man taking care of his hospitalized father. He thinks they'll never be able to escape. So the guy takes his father's medicine to self-delete, choosing the end over becoming a zombie. He tells his dad that he loves him before he drops dead. Soon the zombies destroy part of the door and start pushing. So Sing breaks the window and escapes with Buddy just in time. While the horde breaks in and starts eating the dead guy, the duo climbs a scaffold. Every time they pass by a window, the zombies in the rooms try to reach for them. Buddy's bag gets stuck on the scaffold, which allows a creature at the window to grab his leg. Before he can get bitten, Sing throws a metal bar to stab the zombie in the eye. Then he helps a terrified Buddy come up. Eventually, the duo goes back inside and carefully walks around, without making sounds that could attract zombies. Hiding behind a counter, they find Buddy's mother Mink, and the boy hugs her in relief. Mink gives him his inhaler before telling Sing that Rin is on the 10th floor. Buddy wants her to come with them, but she's been bitten, so she asks Sing to take care of her son. A crying Buddy clings to her mother and Sing has to drag him away by force. As they step into the next hallway, Buddy bites Sing's hand to free himself and runs back to Mink, only to discover she's become a zombie. She growls at them from behind a window, but gets distracted when she hears a baby cry. Sing takes the chance to pick Buddy up and runs down the hallway, kicking any zombie that approaches them until they reach the stairs. Then Buddy starts crying, saying he doesn't want to keep going. Sing reminds him that Mink wanted him to live to convince him to come with him. In the meantime, Rin discovers that Vasu is safe in his wife's room. She immediately runs there and begs until Vasu lets her in, closing the door right before the zombies could reach her. As Rin has a breakdown, Vasu tells her to relax because his people will pick them up soon. At the same time, the military leaders receive orders to rescue Vasu and his wife. Some men protest because they only have 30 minutes before the bombs explode, but they're forced to go anyway. When the helicopter lands on the roof, the lights are seen by Sing and Buddy on the stairs. Moments later, Vasu notices that his wife's blood supply is running out. He convinces Rin to get him more blood by promising to rescue her when the team comes. Rin leaves the room and sneaks around while keeping an eye out for the horde. As soon as she sees an opening, she rushes into the next room and the noise of the door closing gets zombies' attention. When Sing and Buddy make it to the 10th floor, they have to use a metal bar to force the door open. As they walk around, Sing finds Rin's necklace on the floor and assumes the worst. But at that moment, he sees her run to hide in the next room. Noticing the zombies coming for her, he pushes a stretcher and causes them to jump over him. Then Sing starts fighting them with a metal bar while on the other end of the floor. Soldiers begin to shoot them. Horde down. The team soon reaches Vasu's room and they take him and his wife away without waiting for Rin. As Sing keeps fighting, he sees Rin on the other side of the window. However, she has to run because a zombie is coming for her. Buddy tries to open the door, but it's stuck. So Sing throws an extinguisher to break it. When the zombie is about to reach Rin, Buddy activates the extinguisher, giving Rin time to hide. She accidentally makes some noise when she steps on a tray and the zombie comes for her, but Sing repeatedly hits the beast on the head with the extinguisher until it's dead. The couple then reunites with a hug. In the corridor, the horde surrounds the team and a fight ensues, although it's very short thanks to the guns. Unfortunately, the military doctor is bitten and the soldiers have to shoot him before he transforms. Vasu refuses to leave without a doctor to treat his wife during the trip, so he asks the soldiers to get Rin. When Buddy and the couple leave the room, the soldiers shoot Sing in the shoulder. Rin desperately tries to help him, But the team drags her away. Zombies keep appearing, and this time even Vasu opens fire to protect his wife. Buddy cries at Singh until he manages to stand up and joins the fight, using any object in the room as a weapon. Once the zombies are down, he grabs a soldier to use as a shield when the rescue team tries to shoot him again. Singh attacks a soldier with a crutch and uses the helmet to try to choke him, but the man cuts the strap to free himself. They keep fighting hand to hand, and Singh is at a slight disadvantage because of his injury. The man overpowers him and punches him a few times before gabbing him in a chokehold, so Singh is about to pass out. At that moment, another zombie appears and the soldier has to fight it instead. Singh takes the chance to recover, and this time the fight is more balanced. After exchanging multiple blows, they end up bringing each other down at the same time. While a zombie jumps on the soldier to eat him, Singh keeps dreaming about Rin, who drags him into a room to take care of his wounds with Buddy's help. Eventually, Singh wakes up and apologizes to Rin for making her worry. She apologizes in return, saying she wouldn't know what to do without him. As he puts the ring from the necklace on her finger, Singh tells her that after this is over, they'll finally move back to their hometown. With only 15 minutes left on the bomb, the soldier has become a zombie and comes after them. But Buddy hears him and warns the couple just in time. Singh throws some chemical bottles at him, and then a flare to set him on fire. The group leaves before the sprinklers activate, so they don't see all the dead zombies waking up. The water has activated the fish part of the virus, so now the zombies have transformed into fish-like mutants. When Buddy and the couple reach the next corridor, they find Vasu staring at his wife because she's been bitten. However, Vasu refuses to go because he's glad to finally see her move again. He comes closer to tell her he loves her, and his wife immediately bites him. While the heroes run, the horde surrounds the bed and feeds on Vasu. Eventually, the trio reaches the car ramps where another horde finds them. Singh tells Rin and Buddy to run while he stays to fight them. The mutation has made the zombies much stronger, so it isn't as easy for Singh to defeat them this time. Buddy and Rin manage to reach the roof, and a soldier points a gun at them until he makes sure they're not infected. Rin explains that Vasu and the team are dead, but asks to wait for Singh, so the soldier agrees to give her 5 minutes. In the parking lot, Singh is stuck in a car, kicking the zombies that keep trying to reach him through the windows. One of the zombies is a soldier, and in the struggle, one of his grenades ends up blowing up the vehicle. Luckily, Singh manages to survive the explosion, but he sees hundreds of more monsters coming after him. On the roof, the soldier forces Rin and Buddy to get in the chopper, ignoring their protests. At that moment, Singh arrives with the zombies behind him, but unfortunately, the helicopter has already taken off. Rin and Singh cry and share one last look of love before the zombies bring the door down. Singh continues to fight until the last second as the bombs finally blow up the entire building. Sometime later, Rin is back in her hometown with Buddy. Meanwhile, it's revealed that Singh has survived by hiding in a storage tank, and he has to kill another zombie to come out. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.